Hello World of Warcraft, this is Thomas with the WoW Dungeon, and in this video I'm going to be covering some essential hunter macros for PvP. Now, to get started right off the bat, I'm going to list the abilities that should be macroed in some way in your keybinds. There are pretty much three types of different macros. For a hunter, there are the macros that help you and your team, the abilities that help you and your team. There are the abilities that do something negative to the other team or your enemy, and then there's some utility macros. Utility macro I would consider like a burst macro. It's like a utility because you're not doing actually anything direct to the enemy team. Now, to get into it, I'm going to start out right off the bat with listing the spells that need to be somehow in your keybinds. And that is 1, Roar of Sacrifice, Master's Call, Concussive Shot, Tranquilizing Shot, Counter Shot, and Growl. Wyvern Sting as well, if you're talented into it. Now, I'm going to explain briefly why all of these need to be somehow incorporated into your keybinds in order to succeed in Arena. Roar of Sacrifice is an amazing ability. It prevents you from getting critically hit. You can see my other videos. I'll link something in there so that you can get an overview of what it does if you don't know what it is. Master's Call is also a great ability to get your teammates out of a pinch and yourself. It should be pretty self-explanatory why Tranquilizing Shot and Counter Shot and Concussive Shot should be macroed in, but if you're not aware, Concussive Shot on somebody other than your target can be very beneficial in helping setting you up to land a freezing trap, and a Tranquilizing Shot on somebody other than your target can really help to dispel things like Fear Wards and Hand of Sacrifices, and should be utilized in your keybinds. Counter Shot, obvious. Let's say you're hitting a hunter and you want to counter a spell that a priest is casting at the same time. These macros will help you be able to do that. So you can pretty much be able to manage 2 enemies at once. Growl. The reason why I put Growl in this list is versus Shamans. Shamans have an ability called Grounding Totem. Grounding Totem, when cast, will eat up the next negative effect on like their party members within a certain yard radius. I'll link a ability in the video. Growl will actually be able to be considered a negative effect and eat the grounding totem. That's what's called eating the totem. It's a term used. So that's something I recommend. Now the utility, I also recommend having some macros for pets and a disengage and aspect of the cheetah macro. So we'll go over it. Let's get into it right now. In order to pull up your macros, you're going to press escape, hit the macros button. Bam, real easy. Or you can press enter/macro. As you can see right here, I have a lot of macros. But we're not going to go into what all of those are for because they are very specific to me. So let's go over how to make a macro. So we're going to hit new. We're going to do macro. That's what I'm going to call it because we're going to go over several macros. We're going to write out this one macro, show tooltip. The reason why I put show tooltip is that it'll show the ability that I'm trying to cast. If the macro isn't reading properly, this question mark will remain after you hit save right here. So let's do this. Use Roar of Sacrifice. And then save. Boom, you see it'll switch. Now, we don't just want to use Roar of Sacrifice on anybody. We want to use it bracket, it has to come first, bracket, at Zularu. Save. Now when I do this, I'll drag this guy over here, and then I'll use it. Bam! Look at that. Boom! Used it perfectly. Now I got Roar Sacrifice for 12 seconds. Awesome. The reason why you can write out the name is that let's say you want to use it on a specific party member. While you're in Arena, you can whoop, boom, hit it or attach it to a certain keybind, so that way it goes to a player that you want it to go to. Because maybe you're not being trained, maybe your friend is being trained. You can put their name in right in there, and that'll give them Roar of Sacrifice instead of you. So actually, let's try to do that with somebody else. So let's go to, let's do at training. No, I don't think we can do training dummy. It has to be a friendly. So let's do Frostwolf Grunt. Let's see if that can work. I don't even know if that can work. Let's try it. Frostwolf Grunt. Let's try it out. Let's try it out, people. Got 3 seconds left on this cooldown. No, it won't work. It won't work. Alright. But you can use it on anybody pretty much. Any player name. You can do at player name, but I don't have any players here with me right now. So let's just keep it with Zularu. And we'll do Master's Call as well, so you can see that it also works for that. You have to spell it correctly. It does not take mistakes. It will just confuse the macro. So let's hit this ability, see it saved, and you see how it changed the icon. That means it's working. Bam, look at that. There's the buff. Boom. Okay, so now those are the beneficial ones. Those are the beneficial macros. Now we're going to go at focus. So I put focus in here. Why? Well, a focus is an off target, essentially. It's your target. It's a target that you're targeting, but you're not doing direct. You're not focusing directly on them. It's like an off target. So let's show you. So, okay, I'm targeting this training dummy right here. This is right here is my target enemy bar. I'm going to click on this guy real quick. Go back to the target dummy. So you saw what I just did? I clicked over here, I set him to my focus, and now I have another bar right here. That's him. This guy is this, and then this is my target, and that's the guy I'm actually doing damage to. So a focus will let you manage 2 enemies at once. So essentially, for a counter shot, I'll be doing damage to one enemy, and the counter shot will be set to the focus. So let's say I'm about to shoot a Chimera, but I see that the priest is casting like a flash healer, I don't know, some sort of spell that I don't want to go off. I can cast the Chimera and then immediately shoot the counter shot without switching targets. That's essential because you're saving so much time. Seconds, I mean milliseconds that you're saving. So let's do it. Just so you can see the effect, let's do Wyvern Sting instead. So let's say I'm doing damage. Boom. Casting an aim shot, slow, boring, and then let's cast this guy. Okay, Wyvern Sting cast out. Look, this guy is asleep and not my target, and I can resume doing DPS. Look, I just sent out a crows to him. Boom. Boom. Just keep hitting him. Now let's do counter shot, and you'll be able to see the same thing. Look. See that? See, it went to my focus. It didn't go to my target. So that's really important. That's a very important ability to use. And Growl will be able to do the same thing. You focus it on like a focus, or you can write out, let's delete focus, and type in Arena 1. And that'll target the first arena enemy. And you can see like on the right side of the screen when they pop up, when your enemies pop up right here, 1, 2, 3. You can write out like that, and you can track them like that. So that pretty much covers the essential macros. Now, I'm going to go over 2 macros right here. There's the pet macro. And I recommend doing a little bit more research. I'll link some basic macro guides in the description. But you do want a pet passive macro. And I'll actually make one. I'll make one right here. So we're going to go to Pet Dookie. And obviously we can't do show tooltip because pet passive isn't really like an action that you can use. So I'm just going to type in pet passive. Okay? I'm going to save it right here. I'll make the icon, I don't know, this right here. Okay, so let's drag it over. Going to have my pet attack. Okay, so he's attacking right now. You don't always want your pet attacking, so then we hit the pet passive. And he should be coming, oops. That's why. This is why it's not working. It should be one word. Okay, so then he's attacking, boom, boom, boom. Hit it, and look, Stulins comes back. Good boy, Stulins. Good boy, Stulins. Alright, so let's send Stulins back out. Stulins goes, and then he comes back. I also have a pet attack macro. It's in the same thing. I have pet attack right here. No mods, so anytime I hit this, he'll attack for me. So that's just kind of some micromanagement of your pet, which is good. I wouldn't say it's 100% necessary or essential, but it is something that you're going to want to master eventually. And then there is another thing. Once you start getting into writing macros, you are also going to want to put in this kind of functionality where, let's say I'm doing a heavy cast. You can see right here I have stop casting under my Chimera shot. And the reason why is because let's say I'm in the middle of this aim shot, boom, I can cancel it and hit a Chimera shot. So anytime that you have these instant cast abilities, you want to write like a slash stop casting macro and also a slash cancel aura deterrence. So that way, let's say, oops, that not good. Let's just cancel that. Alright, I don't want to mess anything up. So let's say I'm deterrence, oh my god, cancel it, go. You see how fast that deterrence stopped? The reason why you want that is sometimes you don't want to sit an entire deterrence. It's smart to have these type of things at your disposal, so that way your instant cast can literally be instant. Now there's one more macro I want to go over just because it's nice and it's nice a utility. It's this one right here, and I'm going to write it out for you as well. And what it'll do is you'll be able to see right here. Dang it, I always do that. I always start writing accidentally and I can't move. So watch, I don't have aspect of the cheetah up, I disengage, boom, and it casts it at the same time. The reason why you want to do this is because let's say melee's on you, you disengage and get aspect of the cheetah, so you're also moving a lot faster. It's on a 10-second cooldown, aspect of the cheetah is, and that's awesome because disengage is on a 20-second cooldown, so it's pretty much always going to be available. So let's write that out for you guys, because honestly, I like you guys, and I think every hunter should have some quality of life macros. So let's do disengage, show tooltip, with slash, use, space, exclamation mark. Why exclamation mark? This allows you to spam the button without toggling it off. That way you don't toggle off aspect of the cheetah if you already have it on. So let's do aspect of the cheetah, and then use disengage. Boom, you can see it change. That means it's working. I'm gonna go right here, cancel aspect of the cheetah. Let's see if this works, and boom, there you go. There's your macro right there. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up my entire video. Again, I'm gonna link how to write macros in the description. I do know extensive amounts of macro knowledge because I've been writing macros for a long time. As you can see, I have a lot of mod control stuff. In fact, this is a lot of extra stuff that you don't need, but I write it out because it's easy for me. No mod 13, etc., etc. I even have cast random mounts, so I can write these macros. But I also recommend that you do some research on your own, and I'll link some macro guides. But I can also do that in the future as well, is write an more exhaustive macro guide that's a little more advanced. But at the same time, I also want to offer my help, so if you need help writing some macros, or if you're stuck writing a macro, shoot me a message. I'll be happy to help. However, if you're just being lazy and just trying to get an easy way for someone else to do your work, I will not do that. I manage people, and I can tell when someone's being lazy. But I will help anybody who really might be getting stuck or is having some issues, because I've been there. I've had macros not work, and it's like, why isn't this working? So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, shoot me a message. Hope you enjoyed the video.